Hey friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Compliments, it's a whole thing. A lot of people, they hate the compliments. They get triggered anytime they see that word. Like it infiltrates their daily life. And if they hear it, see it, smell it,
they turn red.
But the alternative to compliments is no compliments. Nobody wants no compliments. And with that in mind, today I'm gonna be sharing with you guys my most complimented fragrances of the year so far. So that's going to encompass obviously the beginning of the year when it was super cold, up through now where basically you are living through a real life inferno. Essentially Hades has come up and swallowed up the earth and it's a little bit hot. So a little bit warm weather stuff, a little bit cool weather stuff. Everything I talked to you about is gonna be linked in the description below. Let's get started, no particular order, with this one first up, the cap of Aeros Flame. See, that's why the floors have to be carpeted where I shoot videos. It's not my fault though, it's just this cap doesn't stay on super well. So when I grabbed it with the little flip, if you're after compliments, the entire Aeros line is honestly pretty safe. Like Aeros Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum, Parfum. This one, all of them really solid. Also, if you like citrus, Aeros Energy is really good as well. But you have to like citrus because there's like a metric F ton of citrus in that scent. Aeros Flame is one that I reach for with some consistency nowadays because it's close enough to Aeros that you have that versatility, that compliment factor, obviously, but then it's also a little bit different at the same time. So off the top, you have citrus. It smells fresh, sweet, super sexy. A little bit of fresh spice in there from pepper. Kinoto as well, gives it a little green along the edges. Has a little touch of florals as it dries down, but then what really seals the deal with this one, tonka and vanilla in the base. So when you hit that far dry down, it's sexy, it's cozy, it's inviting, but it has enough freshness that you can pull this off during spring, during summer, also during fall and winter. Good performance, day or nighttime usability. It's just a killer fragrance for just about any situation you find yourself in, outside of maybe like really formal occasions, but who cares about that? So Aeros Flame, first one kicking us off. Before we hop to the next fragrance, guys, updates on those codes. The JOMASHOP codes have changed. They only work within the JOMASHOP app, so be aware of that. So you have to download the app, which basically is the exact same as their website, and then you can use those codes to save money. And the Gift Express codes, there are two. So there's Gents 15, Gents 10. The 15% off code, though, will only work now if the order is over 250 bucks. So if it's over 250, you can use that code. If it is under 250, it will give you 10% off, or you can just use that 10% off code. Why is it that way? I don't know why it's that way, but that's the way it is. All the other codes that you see are as usual, so you can use them at any of those websites to save yourself some money on niche fragrances, designer fragrances, or clone fragrances. After that, this one, Boss Bottled Absolute. This stuff right here is fantastic. Fall, winter time, absolutely stunning. Complete trash garbage atomizer, like, it's laughably bad. It's absolutely garbage. And the cap, the cap weighs nothing as well. So as far as the presentation goes, it's like bottle, pretty nice. Everything else, garbage. But then the fragrance smells extremely expensive. It smells similar to Parfum Marley Carlisle. So it's kind of like a designer take on the Carlisle DNA to an extent. Now before with Aeros Flame, I said, you know, probably wouldn't wear that to a formal occasion. You can wear this. Like if you want to, you can wear Boss Bottled formally on a date night, especially during the evening. It's really good for that, but also solid during the day as long as it's cool outside. Hugo Boss has come out with some absolutely insane bottled flankers over the past few years. This is probably the best one. I know that this year they're coming out with Bottled Beyond, which looks like that. So at least it's got a new flanker name instead of Elixir. But to be fair, they can't really use Elixir because they already did that twice. And they thought to themselves, you know what we could do? Absolute Elixir. We could do it, boys. It can be done, okay? And somebody there was like, actually, that's a crackhead idea. How about we call it, I don't know, Beyond or something. And they went, good enough. So we'll see when that one comes out, if it continues the trend of Hugo Boss coming out with absolute stone cold bangers. But for now, Absolute, best of the best. Let's hop back to a fresher fragrance up next. And this one is just, it is what it is. You know, it's not anything that's gonna set the world on fire, and when you see it, you'll be like, okay, but it works. It's Myself by YSL. This is the Eau de Parfum. That's the one that I typically reach for. Le Parfum I'll wear also during fall, winter, but not quite as often. This one has a little more versatility kind of baked in just because of the type of scent that it is. So you've got orange blossom, citrus, and amberfix, basically like amber woods there in the base. Really simple, kind of clean clothing, fresh, a little bit citrusy. Not sharp though, like really smooth, well blended. The new Myself, which is back there on a shelf somewhere. That one's pretty solid too, but it is a little bit of a different approach, which obviously it should be. It's a flanker if it was the exact same fragrance. I mean, I'm not saying that they wouldn't do it if they could sell that, but obviously it should be different. Actually, I'll just grab it here. It's this one, Absolute, or technically L'Absolu, but I'm just gonna call it Absolute. This one has ginger, bergamot, some floral notes going along with, of course, that orange blossom patchouli in the base, though it doesn't really have a strong patchouli note. It's more like lightly green, clean woodiness when you hit that far dry down. It's a solid fragrance, absolutely will pull compliments, really easy to wear, but I just got this one in, so obviously I haven't been able to wear that very much. So that's why that one's not here. I may actually start wearing that one a little bit more over this one, we'll see. But yeah, the original Myself, this stuff just pretty much always works. You can wear it whenever you want. I usually wear it a little more spring, summer, but you can wear it fall, winter also. It's not like super strong or anything. It's just that type of fragrance that works wherever you go. And if you're going somewhere air conditioned, doesn't really matter anymore. Back to a heavier fragrance, a warmer fragrance. Next up, Scandal Absolute from Jean Paul Gaultier. This is one of those fragrances, and I've talked about this before, where maybe if you haven't smelled it for a while, you forget how good it is. When you go back to it again, you're just like, oh, shit. No bad words. But you just get sucked back in again, and you're like, oh, that's right. That's how good that one is, yeah. So obviously I'm a big fan of some of the Stronger With You fragrances. Stronger With You absolutely, especially. Stronger With You Leather, Stronger With You Oud, Stronger With You Intensely, Stronger With You Parfum. A lot of those scents I love, and I will wear them and get good reactions from them. But this right here has like slowly become kind of my go-to when I want something vaguely in that style. It's just that good. The note breakdown is stupid. 3 notes, who cares? But it has Mirabelle plum, it's got chestnut and some woods as it dries down, sandalwood. And dumbing that down, essentially what that means is when it opens up, it's got this unique fruity note, deep, sweet, sexy. The chestnut is gonna tie it in a little bit with those Stronger With You fragrances. Just had to make sure that's where they are. They're right there. Eventually, when this is all lit up, it should look cooler. Should. But yeah, Stronger With You, fantastic. That chestnut kind of vibe, this has that, but I just feel like this is kind of like the evolution of that type of scent. And they have came out with a new Scandal since this one, but this one's better. Back to fresh we go, Polo 67. This is the Eau de Parfum. So the Eau de Toilette, also really, really good at pulling compliments. If you're after compliments, that one is solid. It's also pretty cheap, so that helps, especially with everything jettisoning up into the stratosphere as far as prices go. But with this one being newer, I've worn it a little bit more, hence it being in this list instead of the Eau de Toilette. But the Eau de Toilette is just as good as far as pulling positive attention, which is also why that one's pretty popular as well. And let me tell you guys, if you have never smelled Polo 67 Eau de Parfum, this stuff is amazing. Just as far as a daily wear, everyday, versatile type of scent, if you want something fresh with a really nice fruity sweetness that does not go overboard with like the sugary aspect. So what you have here is you've got pineapple, you have mandarin orange, a little bit of green cardamom, and also bergamot. Add into that some woodiness, some cedar, some benzoin as it dries down, and a little bit of lavender also, kind of keeping everything very clean. Is my voice cracking? I'm going through puberty again? Maybe I never went through it to begin with. Oh my God.
Hey! Hey! What up?
I love Polo 67. I think that it is simple, but it's one of those things where not everything in life has to be complicated. And so this is just that type of thing that you spray it on, it's easy going, you don't have to think about it, and everyone around you loves this stuff. So yeah, Polo 67, just something I reach for quite often. And I talked about that when the EDT first came out, that, you know, I got it in, I sprayed it on, and I enjoyed it the first time, but I was like, okay, cool. You know, the original one was like slightly playing in Myself's realm that was like a little bit similar. And I had it on my desk, Polo 67, also Legend Blue from Mont Blanc, but I reached for those a lot. And Polo 67, I just kept going back to. It was something where like day after day after day, instead of going and picking something, right? I would be like, ah, Polo 67's right here. I like that, boom, spray it on and go. So yeah, I love it. EDP, fantastic. Let's go next with this. Forever Wanted Elixir. The all gold gun bottle. Oh, it's like GoldenEye. I just now made that connection, like literally just now. For any of my old heads out there, any of my dudes back in the day used to play GoldenEye 007. You know what I'm talking about, the golden gun. That's this. Nice. One shot and you're, oh. Huh. This is another bottle though that is a victim of straight up trash garbage atomizers. Check this out. So bad. Kind of a trend nowadays, new fragrances coming out with refillable bottles, which that's fine. But a lot of times they have these just jank atomizers. Like guys, if you're gonna be coming out with a new fragrance that you're launching all across the world, like can you make sure it sprays at least halfway decent? I mean, it technically gets the job done, but you know, it could be better, that's all I'm saying. It would be like if new sports cars came out and they were like, okay, here's your whatever, here's your Ford Mustang, here's your Toyota Supra, here's your Porsche 911. And then you go, what's up with those tires right there? And they're just like used, janky, completely bald tires with like patches where they were popped previously and they filled in the hole. It's like, yeah, that's how they come now. That's our new car right there. These tires right here were engineered specifically for this vehicle. It's complete and utter trash. It will kill you immediately, but that's what we're doing to save some money. So go F yourself. That's how this feels. It's like, oh, nice new gold bottle. It's refillable and what? So all that out of the way, Forever Wanted Elixir, really, really good. And it is a great leather scent, which is something we don't get a whole heck of a lot of in the designer realm. Leather can be a tricky accord, to be fair, because if you go too animalic, too dirty, too funky with a leather note, then a lot of people are just gonna immediately hate it. They're just gonna be like, no, that stuff is trash, get it out of here. And so you do see a little bit more leather sometimes in like indie fragrances, niche fragrances, where that is a little more accepted by the people that are buying those scents. But designer-wise, you don't get a whole heck of a lot of it. Ferragamo has some that have come out here over the past few years, but not a whole ton. I mean, you'll get fragrances with leather, right? But it's not necessarily the focal point. With this one, it is. You also have raspberry in here, cardamom, citrus, lavender, among other notes. It does not smell similar to Tuscan leather. I bring that up because of the whole leather raspberry thing. It has a great sweetness with a nice masculine edge because of that leather, but it's still really wearable. And it's a surprise smash. Like, people love this thing. To be fair, I would say the most wanted is probably a little bit more safe if you're just after like the safest compliment getter from Azzaro. But after that one came out, I found myself reaching for it a whole lot. All right, the next one is a doozy. It's Aquade Dhou, actually, so it's not too much of a doozy. Yeah. I mean, this has been a line that I've worn forever, since the dinosaurs roamed the earth, essentially. Getting chased down by a Carnotaurus, you know, a Utah raptor trying to get me. Yes, back then I was wearing Aquade Dhou, but then, back then, it was the eau de toilette. I've been around long enough now to see a number of fragrances, flankers come and go. And lately I've been wearing a little bit of the Parfum. Also Profundo, but when it comes to Profundo, the eau de parfum. The eau de toilette is solid, it's fresher, but you know, on the whole, I'd rather have the eau de parfum. And the Parfum version of Profundo, that I don't like that. It's pretty, well, yeah, it's just, not my thing. But this one, the normal Parfum, now this stuff is pretty good. And the cap, as you just heard, magnetic. Thank you. Yeah, I love the Aquade Dhou DNA. Like, I always have, it's ingrained up here, and that is basically, along with Profundo Eau de Parfum, in my opinion, the best iteration currently on the market. It's got that freshness that you want from an Aquade Dhou, that aquatic kind of feel, but it has that more modern minerality that they've injected into the Aquade Dhou DNA, with a bit of that incense backbone. That way you can wear it when it's cooler out. Makes a great transitional fragrance, kind of like heading into spring or into fall. Really, really good then. Okay, next up we got this. Ooh, I caught it. This one is Born in Roma Intense from Valentino. And this one is one that's more like spring, fall for me. Also winter, summer, probably going for something else. During summer, actually, for Valentino, Yellow Dream, really good, and Coral Fantasy. Some people would think maybe not those two, but they work really well. So Born in Roma Intense, this stuff has lavender, gives it a nice masculine edge, you know, a clean kind of classically masculine vibe. Then you have a good amount of vanilla in there, a good amount of sweetness, which makes it smell more modern. And in the air especially, like this stuff is lights out. People love this fragrance, which is one of the reasons when I first got it that I wore it so much, like when it was new, because it was one of those deals where first couple times I wore it out, I was like, man, in the air, like this stuff is insane. It was that type of thing, you're just moving around and like a waft catches you and you're just like, it stops you in your tracks. You're just like, is that me? Nice. And other people notice just as much. Good performance as well. Great scent. A little bit of woodiness in there as it dries down also. All right, last fresher type fragrance is this one. It's Guilty Love Edition, of course, from Gucci. Now, they've come out with numerous Love Editions, and some of them were better than others. Like some of them kind of suck, just not very good. Others were not too bad, but for me, for my taste, this is the best one so far. It's not the same as myself, but it does have a similar scent structure as far as the whole 3 notes that they give you. This one has juniper in place of citrus off the top, and then orange blossom and amberfix as it dries down. It's got pretty solid performance, also smells similar to Guilty Elixir, which is another solid one. And Guilty Elixir smells similar to, in some ways, Reflection Man and Pegasus, kind of put together. So I guess in a way, that means you could think of Guilty Love Edition as a blend of like Guilty Elixir and to a lesser extent myself. But ultimately it is its own thing, right? Because once you start going down that rabbit hole, you can do that with every fragrance ever made. If you're like, oh, you know, it's kind of like that one. If you mixed it with that one, which smells like you mixed that one with that one, and also is like this one, mixed together with all those other things. At some point, you just have to stop and be like, bro, it's okay. You can just say it does its own thing. So that's Guilty Love Edition. Very clean, soapy, a little bit more creamy than most of the other fragrances I've talked about here today, but works really well for me. Good performance too, at least as far as longevity. All right, last up, this is a compliment destroyer in fall and winter time. Like for me, this is one of the best of the best of the best of the best. Invictus Victory Elixir. They came out with the new Victory Absolute here recently. That one's pretty solid. The original Victory, also really good. But for me, this one consistently is the one that people are drawn to the most, including myself. Like when I smell it, just love it. It is sweet. You gotta like that. You have to like sweetness. But to be fair, you're probably not shopping for any Rabanne fragrances, period, if you don't like sweetness. That would be like going to an Italian restaurant and being like, you know, I'm really not looking for anything that's too calorically dense. Do you guys have perhaps a house salad? And that's all I'll take, thank you. Like, what are you doing here? We're at the Italian restaurant, bro. You're gonna be putting down like 2,000 calories right now. Accept it. That's the Rabanne. If you go to the Rabanne counter and you say, well, I'm looking for something that's not sweet at all, you're at the wrong place, dude. You just, no. So you got a lot of vanilla here, a whole bunch of vanilla, yes sir, along with tonka, cardamom, lavender, little incense, you know, a little touch of smokiness. Has this really nice like fizzy vibe to it as soon as you spray it on. Also a little bit similar to other fragrances out there. I know I just harped on this, but like a little Le Beau Le Parfum, a little Invictus Victory, a little bit of a bunch of different things, ultimately combining to make its own unique scent profile, which absolutely stands out. Smells amazing, great performance. Fall and winter time, you cannot go wrong with this. So there it is, my 10 most complimented fragrances so far through the first half of the year. I don't know how many more really big releases are gonna come out this year. There's always a few. And I know that there's at least a couple that should be really big that are gonna be dropping soon. But past that, usually once you head into fall, it's kind of like dead as far as new releases go. So what we have so far as new stuff is probably close to what it's gonna look like toward the end of the year. So I'll have to see if there's anything new that comes out that I really start wearing, or some other stuff that I end up gravitating towards through the last half of the year, to see which of these kind of get replaced and which don't. But that is it for now. Thank you guys for hanging with me here today. Let me know in the comments what's been working well for you this year. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.